On April 13th, 1979, in my hometown of McAllen, Texas, there was a club named Boccacio's, and they said the devil danced there. Welcome to Jorge's Freaky Friday. I want to start off by apologizing for not posting on my Freaky Fridays as often as I should. I have been a little busy with auditions picking up here in New York and some other jobs that I've been doing. And I wanted to do something special for October since it's only a few days away. And I thought, what better story to talk about than one that I've always been so fascinated with since I was little. And we're going to talk about Boccacios. The story as it's passed along goes like this. A young woman in McAllen, Texas is told by her parents that she cannot go to this club. Boccacios is a place where the heathens go, but yet she still wants to go, and she goes anyway against her parents' wishes. As she arrives in this club, she doesn't know anybody there. It's crowded, but she doesn't know anybody there. Then the doors swing open, and this handsome stranger walks in. And he walks straight to her. He woos her. They begin dancing in this dance floor with lights and music, and then the smells of sulfur begin to permeate throughout the club. And then the dancing becomes more frantic and erratic, and people start wondering what's going on. And through all this hubbub and commotion, something happens. There's a flash or an explosion, and then she passes out on the floor dead, and the man disappears. Now that's the short story of what happened at Boccacio's that night. Sean Gaffney of the Monitor, the local newspaper in McAllen, Texas, interviewed Danny Nava, who was the DJ at the time. He was 16 years old and he was spinning records at Boccacio's. That was his job. He claims that on this night, Friday the 13th of 1979, it was a night like any other. It was a crowded night. It was Friday. Things were going crazy. You know, it was a packed club. He noticed this couple, this young girl dancing with this man, and then things started going crazy, and then there was just this smell of sulfur, and that people began rushing out of the club. And then through this melee, this woman had collapsed and she had died. As the cops arrived and they began questioning witnesses, a lot of them said that, they didn't know the girl, but they didn't know the man, and they don't know where the man went. But the one thing that a few of them noticed was as they looked at the man that was dancing, they looked down at his feet. He wasn't wearing boots or sneakers or shoes, but he had talons, or some people said he had hooves like goats or horse. And that was the consensus that was going around. Now, do we believe all this? Do we believe that there was a man that was the devil dancing at this nightclub? I mean, it sounds like a cautionary tale passed throughout folklore and history, which is true. There was a book back when I was young called Stories That Must Not Die by Juan Savaggio. And in this book, he tells a story of a young lady named Dolores, and this is just one of several short stories in the book. But Dolores was just vain, and she was beautiful, and she knew it, but she didn't care. And her mother always warned her, don't be vain, don't be arrogant, or else it's going to catch up to you. Well, she goes to the American Legion in this story, and there's a dance there, and she meets this man, this handsome stranger, and they just start dancing, and they start dancing, but then things start feeling uneasy, and they say, we should leave, but she doesn't stop. And then she dances to death, and that she had danced with the devil. This isn't, anything new. There's always been a story of a woman dancing with the devil. In 1975 in San Antonio, there was a similar story that a woman went to this club in San Antonio and that she danced with the devil and he died. I'm not from San Antonio. I'm from McAllen, Texas. And so I don't hear people talking about that club. I don't even know the club's name in San Antonio like I do Boccacio's. As I said before, Boccacio's is known. Boccacio's was the club to go to. My parents actually met at Boccaccio's. Whenever you mention Boccaccio's or you ask someone what Boccaccio's was to a person of that generation, the first thing they'll say, the devil dance there. Now, it's a folk tale. It's an urban legend in my hometown. Do we believe it? Maybe, maybe not. But I'll tell you what, since then, since 1979, on that same plot of land, that club Boccacio's did burn down. It burned down for either electrical reasons or there was just a mishap. Okay, that was a coincidence. Other businesses have tried to build up on the same plot of land on 10th Street where that club stood, where the devil danced, and each of them met the same demise. They burned down. The last business that I remember standing there was a burger joint called Checkers. The only thing that remains is the driveway of that restaurant because it burned down. Is it the devil's curse? Maybe. Maybe not. But I tell you what, tonight is Friday. And you might plan to go to a bar, you might plan to go to a club, or you might plan to go to a barbecue. But I want to warn you, be aware of who you speak to. Maybe that new friend that you meet tonight might be the devil himself. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you or anybody else knows more about what happened at Boccacio's, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your story and what happened. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend and stay freaky, my friends.